Here, need to shave and a haircut, but today we got the old 98 Blazer, and I got an 11mm wrench here, and this 11mm wrench goes to take the drive shaft off. There's 4 bolts that'll come off. So what I'm going to change today and show you guys how to change is the universal joint for the drive shaft. Mine's loose as hell, and if you need to check yours, you just get under there, grab it by the universal joint and shake it. If it's got any play in it, you need a new one. Mine I could tell because when I take off it creaks. I can hear a little clicking, and when I drive fast it goes away, but there's a vibration going on in my Blazer, and I've narrowed it down to that. So here we go. Oh, these you tighten down to about 10 foot or 20 foot-pounds of torque. I just tighten the hell out of them with my hand, of course, and they work. So taking them off shouldn't be too hard. Here's one. This bolt got damaged from the last time my drive shaft fell off because the U-joint broke. That was one good sign, but I'm going to back up just a little bit while this is on. I'm going to put this one over here and get that one over there so that it's easier to unscrew. So I don't got to be reaching up over the top. Alright, now I can get to these bolts. Do the little wrench trick. That one's off. But yeah. You can see the play in mine. Way too much. So, good thing I got the new part and I'm changing it. Alright, so now that I got them broke free, unscrewing with my fingers. So this is the easy. Alright, now on both sides of these there's a C-clip. I just wedged it under this lip and pried up on it. I'm going to try and get some video footage of me doing this one. I have to set this shit up. Shot it that way. So now I should be able to pound them out. Should be able to pound this one out that way and this one out that way. Last time I did this, I actually cut this right in half because I was inexperienced. It was my first time, but also it's the only way I could figure out how to pop them out. But I think this time I'll just be able to hammer down on each side. So I'm going to start hammering on it, see which way I'm going to have to take it out. I might have to cut it out, cut the whole U-joint out, but I think I'll get away. I'm hoping I'll be able to just pound those cups out and avoid a lot of sawzalling. Alright, my workbench is fucked up, but I'm hoping it holds together. I'm going to try and hit this down Yup. Exactly what I wanted to do. Pop that one out. Yeah. That was way better than my 20-year-old idea. Now I'm going to turn it around and knock that one out. A couple more times. Maybe I should have left that. Gonna leave that in there so this thing on this part doesn't hit this. Nice. All right. And you can tell this one was working, that one was getting dry, that one was still working, but right here, this one had lost all its bearings. And it was starting to ride right on metal to metal. And when you get these, get one that's greasable. This one was not. Now I'm going to clean this up a little bit, just wipe it out and put the new ones in. God damn it. Well, I thought I hit record, but I didn't for the installation. So I'm putting the last C-clip on, but all I did, it's really easy. I set the cap. Imagine that none of this is in. This bottom cap wasn't in yet. So what I did was, the bottom cap was out. I took this, oh fuck. Now it's tight as hell. Jesus. I think my drive shaft got bent in, but we're gonna have to figure that out because this is not supposed to be that tight. I'm gonna have to hammer on something. Anyways, this bottom U-joint was, or this bottom cap was out, so I slid this this U-joint right into this hole with nothing in it, and then I set this cap right in there, and then I held the U-joint up into the cap so the little ball bearings didn't go anywhere because they have a tendency to fall out. And then while I held this up, I hammered down on that ball bearing, or this cap, and then once that one was in, I twisted it around and put it into this side and did the same thing. Damn it. Now it's way too tight, and I'm thinking these two holders got bent somehow, which really, really fucking blows. So that's not the spot that keeps failing. These were the spot that keeps failing, but this is too tight, and I don't foresee that loosening up. So I'm going to actually try and open this somehow, but fuck, you know. Now I'm going to try and get this C-clamp in. Alright, it looks like it does have enough room. The hell? Oh, I see. Now I'm going to try and bend this bottom, this piece right here and this piece right here seem to be too close because my fucking isn't even bending. So I'm going to try with my ragtag tools, hit this down. Alright, so thinking about it, this universal joint being tight, it could only be tight. Let's make an example. It's probably the very inside of this cap, the other side of that, being pressed up against the flat side of this. So it's probably the back side of this cap, right at the back, being pressed up against this too hard. Wouldn't be any extra force put on the bearings. So, in my head, what should happen is, as it goes back and forth, it'll flatten out the inside of that cap a little bit, maybe the flat side of the universal joint, and it should wear down and free up that little bit of tightness. We're lucky it's not. As you see, I can still move it with one hand. So after it gets going and drives up, that should free up. So I've shown you a completely acceptable way to change your drive shaft. Don't think that doing it this way is going to damage it. But definitely when you hammer them in, use the socket, and that will guarantee that you don't bend your drive shaft at all. I'm thinking, fairly certain it was when the drive shaft fell off going 70, because I've tried to hammer it back to free it up, and I've hit the crap out of it, and if that's not going to free it back up, then I don't see how me hammering would have pinched it. So this is a good way to change your universal joint. I would recommend it. It's easy, it goes pretty fast, and I got my C-clips in now. Everything's set. I'm going to go put it back in the car, and you just got to make sure when you put it back in the car that you put it back to the same. There's splines, there's little ridges on your these little teeth right here. Got to line those teeth back into the transfer case where it was originally, so when you put your drive shaft back to the pinion on the differential, that it actually lines up and everything goes good. So I'm gonna go do that now since this is all together. It went pretty easy. I'm not liking how it's a little tight, but I'm fairly certain once I drive that'll loosen back up, and I think it'll actually be good to go. It was a little worrisome, but then when I thought about it, it's not actually squeezing the bearings at all. It just might have pinched the ends of the universal joint to the caps. So I'm not worried about it that much now that I've thought it through. And hopefully it all lines up good and goes in there easy.